Alright, welcome back everybody. We're going to be building another rahi today. So, I've seen this guy before in pieces just like this. Yeah, today we're going to be building the Nui Jaga. So these are the scorpions. Yeah, just another one of the first wave of Bionicle's villains. So the Rahi were the wildlife, I guess, of this, tropical desert island. Has all 6 biomes, I guess. Sort of. Water is a biome. Yeah, so I guess, the story is that Makuta is, the villain in the shadows, right, of this first wave of Bionicle. You never really see him. It's not clear what he is. I guess he's infected these, the wildlife with, making them hostile to the Matoran, who are the villagers, and that's why the Toa show up, is to save them. So yeah, these guys are they look like scorpions. I'm not sure what Nui Jaga means, if it means like scorpion and Tonga or something, because that's where a lot of these words were inspired by or straight up stolen from, right? In early Bionicle is, I think they're Maori words, or various different South Pacific cultures. And at one point, Lego was even sued over this, for kind of like stealing the intellectual property or heritage by like trying to copyright, like words in this native language. So yeah, anyway, let's just get to it. So this is like sort of assembled, but I'm gonna unassemble things as I find them. But this is a good enough, start. This is what we're looking for here. And then this thing goes here. Yeah, so I remember this build now. You kind of have to set it down. And I'm doing it wrong. And so this is going to make like a mechanism. Yeah, I really don't remember this, but I think, this is the handle, this is the tail, and this is the trigger, something like that. Yeah, alright. Got something that's now symmetrical. Yeah, so I think, tail, yeah. Something's going on here. Alright, so this thing got one of those here, one here. Just need more of these. Alright. So it goes like this and like this. Alright, and we're connecting it together now, so okay. I'm gonna close this up. Alright. So we've got a mechanism now. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, so we have this there, and this is the step that I'm on. But we need these to line up. Good. And that goes there. And this goes here. And we have yet another. Okay. Okay. And here we get to this piece. I think some of these pieces are only in the set. I don't know if this is one of them. This kind of, whatever this was, this is like an engine, I think, originally, or like a something, or like a head or a foot on the Throwbots maybe, or something, or maybe some cars, but I don't know that this is a rare piece in purple. I don't think purple was a very common Lego color. Okay, so we got that, and then we have all these knobbed pins, and so these are for the rubber bands that, again, I don't have, and they go on both sides. Here we go. Okay, cool. And this is the head, and these eyes. I'm gonna leave these in. This is an example of a system piece being used in a Bionicle set. which happens from time to time. Another good example was actually Hatu's Rock, which I didn't mention at the time, but is. And then we have these pieces, which are, you know, the kind of like the centerpiece of the Turaga, are here. I don't know if these have a longer history in Barnacle. It's an interesting kind of adapter. Or sorry, in Technic. Alright, and now we'll focus on building the arm here. And so it's composed of a 2 in this with a bend, and then this piece with 2 of these kind of covers on it. These I think are not normally in purple. Okay. So we got this thing on top. Let's push down with these pins. And then this piece. I want to say for the longest time I had lost this. But eventually I found it. I don't know how. So that was always one of those ones. And so this just clips right into there. And this will be what the head is mounted on. The mask head is mounted on. And now we just got to do the exact same thing for the other side. So the inverse thing, really. I can't seem to find the last little 2 linker. Alright, here it is. I'm missing another piece now. Alright, yeah, never mind. This doesn't go in here. This is, the piece is here. It's just yeah. That's what's going on. Alright, and this goes on the other side. So we got the main thing here, which is the trigger under there, and then whoosh. These guys really have sort of thwack to them. Alright, and now we want to just assemble these things. And so, key to note is that it's going on the thicker side. I'm just going to assemble all of these. Alright, and so we have these two long pieces. Yeah, they're the right size. And what's the order? Goes leg, space, leg, adapter, facing down, leg again. And that's the one that goes on this side. Yep, right onto the other piece here. We'll just leave this right now. I bet you couldn't have guessed what we're doing next. The other side. Alright, and so we already installed the eyes. It's just about putting these heads on. So here we go, head. And head. And putting this down here. Which is cool. I just like love the smiley face that he makes. And I'm just making sure we have one extra one of these that it's not from something important. My guess is I was using this piece to poke things out, and it just got left in here. Because I don't see anywhere where it would go. Got one idea is maybe there, but it doesn't look like it. And yeah, definitely not. Alright, yeah, so that must be what it is. Alright, we're not building the combiner, the bird thing. We'll put these on. I wanted to talk briefly about this purple mask. It's the only mask of the raw heat from this era that wasn't like a recolor. Like this came in Nuparu, his set, right? He's the Onukoro Matoran, and he has this exact purple mask. There are other masks from this wave that were released elsewhere in the wave, but I think only in mask packs. Whereas this one was released as another character's primary mask. So that's kind of interesting. And it kind of messes with the whole claim that like, oh, these are the infected masks that we're getting here. So, yeah. But, alright, here's the purple Nui Jaga. Yeah. I think they really captured it. It really does look like a scorpion to me. Yeah, it's just funny. It's like the face, but then it's got the masks. These are supposed to be like the claws. Yeah. Cool. And now we're on to the next one. So hopefully this won't go smoother since I know what I'm doing now. But yeah, I mean, these builds, I mean, this was always what I remembered about these Rahi. It's like the builds weren't as fun, I think, because you don't really get a sense of what you're doing until it's like complete, pretty much. And then by then it's like, oh, that's what you're doing. Yes, this episode, I guess, a little more ASMR than normal. Right, here we go. bands. Alright, I'm having a hard time getting these separated. So I think I'm just gonna have to guess which side it goes on. Memory serves. Oh, I can just look. So they point up. Okay. It's gonna be a little annoying later, but not impossible to kind of deal with. All right. Okay. So these are both black. It doesn't really look like they're black in here. But I don't know how else I would have ended up with two of these. So, I mean, that's an interesting one to look into. Please comment if you know if they are black or not. It's odd to have that they're both in black. Yeah. Okay. And yet again, I'm missing a 2. Huh. I got it. All right. Just gonna put these heads on to get them out of the way. This same thing, since we know where they go. I'll just make this part a little easier. And we're just gonna have to put this on like this, because of that issue. I hear problem solved. All right. And yet again, we're left with this, and I think I have the answer. This, I believe I was using a 3 by up here instead of a 2, as the instructions call for, and that's where the missing 2 is. So I guess at some point I was limited on 2s, but I had these extra 3s, and you know where I would have gotten them from is the mask packs, right? I believe the head came with 1 bar in it. So you can mount them on the lids, right? So I think that's why we missed those in both sets. As for these being black, I don't know, that's very odd. I'll look into that. But yeah, here we go. So we got the blue guy done. Here you can look at the we can fight. They can fight. Okay. Oh. Oh. There we go. I'm gonna break my instructions. I do want to say one more thing about this guy, which is that this mask is like how the last one was a recolor of a Taraga mat. On the Dragonfly, we had a Taraga mask that was recolored to be a Tawa Mata color, technically, that trans blue. This is a Tawa mask that's recolored to be a Taraga color. So like this wouldn't have been out of place like if you had Nokama, which I never did, to put this on Nokama. But where I'm really going with this is if you had Jala, you could make Takua, right? This is Takua. Like the OG Takua. I think. I never played that game, but I'm pretty sure OG Takua has yellow feet, and he's wearing, it's not a dark blue, it's a light blue mask. So yeah, this is kind of a fun one to have these in this other color. I'm sure I played around with putting this on Golly. This, yeah, the light green color. So yeah, let me get him out of the way. But yeah, here are the two guys. Kind of interesting color palettes like this one. The eye stalk and the eyes are the same. This one they're not. Yeah. So these are the Nui Jaga. So one last thing. I did do a little digging, and here's what I found. I found this piece, the dark gray piece that these black ones that I have here are from. And I also found another piece of information. So if you look at this bird here, which is the combiner model, its play features its beak, and you'll notice that the beak is attached right there. And so that would put a lot of stress on this. And so my guess is I broke this in the same way that I'm pretty sure I broke Vakama's neck, which was the orange one that I don't have. And so I think I broke one of these and then wanted them to color match. So I replaced it with two black ones. These are, I assume, actually are probably where Nuju's hands are, and all of that other stuff. Who knows? Like, I had borrowed Nuju's hands from the dragonflies, and And you know, I had swapped out those parts for the ones that have the built-in 2 on them. But I think is what happened. So anyway, to fix this, I'll need another one of these. And so when I get around to ordering another orange one, I'll order a dark gray one. And I actually had one more note to make, which is, so this guy was realizing it built with these light gray pieces. And at first I was like, I remember these being the older pieces, the light gray, not here. As you can see better, I have examples. So that versus that, right? This is just much better for clipping into. And so, you know what I'm noticing right now is that these are using the dark gray. So let me check if that is correct in the manual. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, so I think those are clearly light gray there, right? On the purple one. And then on the blue one, same. These are clearly light gray. And so I need to swap these. So these eye stalks should be light gray, and where they are is right here. So you know, the reason this is definitely better is like, look at how much better that piece fits in there. Just like the size of it versus this one, just sort of like, it doesn't really clip in. So that's good. That's a good thing. You know, I wonder if I did this intentionally. It's just so long ago. It's like, who knows? But yeah, these look better with this all in dark gray, I think. So this one is like completely correct now, the purple one. And it's just a matter of getting this missing piece for the blue one. And in fact, just because we're here, I might as well just swap this part now. Yeah, and I mean, it just looks so much better. So yeah, problem solved for the most part. We just have this one piece that's wrong, and we've got this piece now, so that's great. Thanks for listening.